Yeah, guys, welcome to today's demonstration. Yeah, let us start. My screen is visible, right? Just I have opened Paint.
Yes, we can see.
Hmm, thanks for confirming. Okay, no problem. Today's topic is DevOps demo. So, what is DevOps? Why we need to learn DevOps? So, how DevOps will play the role in real-time projects? We'll see that. So, this is our first slide. What is DevOps? See, guys, DevOps is a culture. DevOps is not a particular tool or DevOps is not a particular technology. DevOps is a culture. So, what I mean of culture? We'll see here. See, if anybody wants to develop, if anybody wants to manufacture any product, not only software product, any product, what we will do? Just for example, take one house building. If you want to build a new house, so what you will do? So you will be here. You will just find out one good civil engineer or some civil construction company or something. Okay, fine. So here you will be client. Here, this engineer or company, something. So what you will tell at very first, you will just give your requirements to that engineer. What is your requirements in case of house building? So here you may have some plans. You want some two bedrooms and something like a one kitchen and puja room and all these things. So the sizes with measurements you will just tell to this guy, engineer. So that means here in this stage, he is just collecting the requirements. He is gathering the requirements from the client, your client here. So requirement, just collection of requirements. You can name anything. Like collection of requirements. Fine. So what is the second step? After collecting the requirements, he will start drawing the plans. He will start drawing the plans. So how we draw the plans? Based on your requirements, he will draw the plan. So what is your requirements here? So some two bedrooms and something. So whatever you give the requirements, based on that requirements, you will just draw some 10 plans or 15 plans or two plans, three plans like that. So out of all those plans, you will just select one plan. You will select one plan. So here, of this is called design or planning stage. Forget about this software product, anything. So we're talking about building, okay? Planning or design. Fine. Now, what is the third step? So once you select one particular plan, so immediately he will just start implement that plan. What is the implementation here? He will just try to build the house. He will start building the house. So that is called implementation. The third, fourth. So after building the house, so in fact, in middle of the construction also, you will be testing that quality and all. You will be testing the quality. So for example, if he done that basement level, you will just see that you'll just check that steel or cement or those things. So bricks. So is he using quality bricks or not? So like that. That means quality or testing. You just test. Finally, he will just hand over that building to you. So you will just open the building and you will be staying in the house. So that is called last part, that is delivery. You will deliver that product. You will deliver that product. That's it. Deliver means here just slight difference. So delivery means if it is something else, something else that a product, something mechanic product or electric product, you will just give it to you by hand. But since it is a house, you will just hand over to you. Fine. And after that, so his job will be over. Engineer's job will be over. Fine. So if it is the construction field something, but same thing, if you just relate to software product, you just relate to software product. Here, what is the first step? Same collection of requirements. What is the second? Design. Collection of requirements. Who will collect the requirements from your office, from your company? Something like a business unit, some business team, along with technical team. They will attend the meetings with the client, and we will gather the requirements from the client. We'll just collect the requirements. We'll just list out all the requirements. In that requirements, so we will ask a lot of things. We need to clarify all our doubts. uh, we will just ask him, so in which technology you want to develop the application. So he will just tell. We will just give the options. So you can just develop in Java, you can develop in C++, you can develop in, so different things. We will just give all the options with codes. That means price. If you advantages and disadvantages, both we will explain to client. Based on that price and advantages, disadvantages, and all the time of the uh, a development. That means, so how much time if you want to develop the application. Based on all these things, you will just select one plan. Plan means you will just select one method. Fine. So once we get the requirements from the client, just our business teams will give that requirements to our technical teams. So based on that requirements, our technical team will just design the uh, plan. So how to, where to start the project, how to uh, develop the project, how to test the product, how to release the project. Fine. So everything will come under design part. And also collection of requirements. Once we collected the requirements from the client, so based on that requirements and plans which are selected by client, we have to we have to plan a manpower and the required softwares and required hardware. Hardware means servers and those things. Manpower means the teams. We need a development team, testing team, and all other teams, quality team and operations team, and here. So a lot of things will be there. So then we have to finalize that. Fine. Fourth point, implementation. Here, you know what is the implementation. We will just start writing the code. That is the very first part in stage of implementation. So we will just call development team and we'll have a meeting with development team, and development team will start writing the code for the project. Fine, that is implementation. And if you want to simplify this, coding. Uh, what is the fifth step? Testing. Here, same like building. So once they write the code, our testing team has to test the application, test the build. Our quality team has to check the quality of the code, quality of the build. If they feel that, not feel, if they confirm that the build is stable, code is stable, application is stable, then we have to deploy, we have to deliver that application to the client. Fine. Here, see, in fact, during the implementation, also the developer will be doing the testing the code. See, for example, today development team has started the work, started writing the code. Once they write the code, so they have to check that code. They have to test that code whether it is working fine or not. If they don't check, if they don't perform the basic testing, so once it goes to testing team, again they will send back to developer. So developer has to write the code. This is a double work. To avoid those things, developer will do some kind of testing called unit testing. So that don't worry, we'll just discuss those things. So what are the testing types? So then we will discuss in regular sessions. For now, just forget about the testing. Okay, fine. Testing and quality something. You will check something will be there. What is the next step? Delivery or deployment. What is the delivery? See, guys, here it is not something like a electronic product or house to hand over to client. So delivery of software product means you have to go client place and you have to deploy that in a server. If you give that product in a floppy or if you in a CD or pen drive, you cannot do anything with that. So client cannot do anything with that files, the application. So he doesn't know how to run the application. He doesn't know how to use that application. So here, in case of software product, you have to create one infrastructure. You have to create one environment. That means you have to build some servers, and on top of that servers, you have to install prerequisites. Prerequisites here means so for any application, for example, if you take a Java application, if you want to run any Java application, you need to install Java in that server first. So then only the application, you can just use that application. Fine. These are the and you need one operating system, whether it can be Linux or it can be Windows or anything. And then, so these are the prerequisites. We have to build the server, we have to install prerequisites, and top of the server, we have to deploy application. Deployment here means just install it. That's it. Don't think much about deployment. We will see. We'll elaborate that deployment part in regular sessions. That is the deployment. But here, in case of building or in case of any other product, so this engineer or company work will be over. But here, in case of software product, so you have to continue the support to the client. Why? Because so going for see once you after deploying the product in customer place, that we will call as a production environment. Production environment. So so a lot of people will be using that application, but somebody is having some technical background, somebody is not having technical background, non-IT background. So those things. So different people will be using that application, and also we may get some issues. That means we may get performance issues and we may get hardware issues, we may get network issues like this. So here again, client does not know how to fix that issues. So that is the reason you have to monitoring. You have to monitoring. So this will call as operations. Fine. So we should form one team to monitor the application for 24 bar 7. So that teams we will call as a operations teams. So they will work for 24 bar 7. If they get any issue from the application side, server side or anything, so then immediately they will just escalate. They will inform to concerned teams, and if they have their own instructions, they will try to fix the issues. So this is the complete life cycle of see, this we will call as a software development lifecycle, SDLC. So this we will call as SDLC. These are the steps for SDLC. For any project, so these steps should be followed. Fine. Fine. Now we know what is the SDLC. So just I'm giving some brief about these topics, guys. Today we don't have much time. I have to cover all the topics. Just going forward in regular sessions, we will just elaborate each and every topic. Okay. Yeah, these are the steps for SDLC. For to develop any project, you have to follow these steps. Fine. Now, now here, just assume that. So our client is Flipkart. You know what is the business of Flipkart? Flipkart is an online shopping website. Flipkart. This Flipkart people wants to develop an application for this online shopping. So what they will do, they will just contact one company like IBM or Accenture or any company or TCS, any company. So here, your company will be here. software company. Fine. So same thing. So what is the first step? They will just have a meetings with this Flipkart people. Sorry, this the company people, and they will just give their requirements to these people. So once they give all the requirements, they will give some deadlines also. So I need to deliver this product by next year January or somewhere something. Just they will. That means what they will expect. They will expect fastest delivery. They will expect fastest delivery with quality. With quality, you should not miss the quality. You should not compromise the quality. So that means they need their product to be released to the market as soon as possible. Why? Because if they don't release the product in the market, so some other people, some other company can release the product. Then people will start using that product. So they will lose the business. So if they want to gain some extra business, so they want to release their product into the market as soon as possible. Okay, fine. See here, what client will expect: fastest delivery and quality, good quality. Fine. They will just expect these two things, and there will be other things. So mainly they will expect this fastest delivery and good quality. Fine. See, we have to achieve these goals. As a software company, as a software team, we have to achieve these. We have to fulfill this. Fine. How to do that? We have to follow some particular methodologies or some particular plans we have to implement. So then only we can just reach that. Fine. Here, so there will be some different methodologies here, guys. So agile methodology, waterfall methodology. So like that V methodology, there will be a lot of methodologies are there, but okay, fine. Here, see, most commonly we'll be using agile methodology. Don't worry, I will just explain that agile methodology. Okay. So most of the projects, so there are some extra advantages in agile methodology if you compare with other methodologies, but still for some projects, we'll follow waterfall methodology also as and when required. Right. Now, here we can just follow DevOps culture also. DevOps. Now you know why we need to implement DevOps culture. By using DevOps culture, we can just release the product as soon as possible, and we can just achieve fastest deliveries and with good quality. How we'll do that? Just let me, yeah, let me share one slide here. Fine. Now, what is DevOps? DevOps is a culture which will help us to uh, build application and release application as soon as possible with the quality. Okay. And DevOps is a culture, and it will be having some multiple tools. By using multiple tools, it's a combination of tools. By using multiple tools, we can just achieve that client requirements, that goals. Okay. Sorry, we'll see that the tools, and we will see where the tools will comes to the picture and where we have to use the tools. What is the use of the tools? We will see that. Now, why DevOps? See, guys, mainly if you see the DevOps, if you see the other technologies like Java, C++, and those things, so there will be some lot of coding part will be there. So why DevOps means DevOps we have already discussed to reach that goals, but in point of view. So why people will choose DevOps? Normally, I'm telling honestly, guys. I'm not telling something. I'm not hiding something. So there will be no much coding part in DevOps, and we will get much, good salaries, and that means packages, and we will just learn easily. But here, don't think without practicing we can just learn DevOps. So you should practice. If you practice DevOps, as I suggested, So 100% you will get the job in DevOps and you can just succeed in DevOps. Why? Because there will be no coding part. Once you enter into the real-time project, there's a very, very minimal coding. Trust me, I will just make you to write that code by completion of the course. So that much easy. The syntax, there will be no some particular syntax like Java syntax or C++ syntax. No. Okay. So we can use the tools without coding knowledge. Okay. And high demand in market. So I think it will be continued for next 10 to 15 years. That is sure. So not 10 years, 15, 20 years, it will be continued. Why? Because so entire world is moving towards automation. So, okay, fine. Now, what is DevOps? Is a combination of tools. What are the tools are there? So Git, Maven, Jenkins, Docker, Kubernetes, Terraform, Ansible. Forget about this Nagios. It will be changed. Like monitoring tools, like will be changed, like a Grafana or something. Okay. Okay, fine. Apart from these tools, so what are the general tools like with ticketing tools, Snow, ServiceNow, or Jira, those things? Just I will give brief about that tools also, but end of the course. See, guys, now we will see where we will use Git, where we will use Maven, where we will use Jenkins, Docker, Kubernetes, all these tools. But before that, so not now, in regular sessions, you, if you have some basic knowledge of Linux, if you have some basic knowledge of Linux, it's very easy to work with these tools. Don't worry if you don't have basic knowledge of Linux. I will just train you. I will just take some uh, 1 week classes for Linux. Linux basics only. So no need to learn entire Linux, no need to learn advanced Linux. Just how to use the commands. That's it. So what will happen in background? So I will just compare with Windows and Linux. Then I will just let you know. It's very easy. Don't worry about that. Fine. Now we'll see. So this is the end-to-end process of the DevOps culture. I will just explain. Don't worry. Here, so let us assume that our company has accepted the Flipkart project. Fine. Once we take over the Flipkart project, what we have to do? We have to form one development team. Let's assume that Flipkart application they need to develop in Java. See, the entire world is moving Java. See, the Java projects, 80% of Java projects are there in the market. Fine. Here, Flipkart is a Java application. We need to develop Flipkart in Java application. Fine. So they will give the some requirements. The requirements means so what requirements they will give? It's very basic requirements. If we see, let me take some 2 minutes here, guys. So this Flipkart people, what they will ask to our teams. Hey guys, we need one attractive page for my website, and here there should be login or sign up button should be there, and there will be search button should be there. If customer wants to search any product, something, if you want to see some Sony TV or something, Samsung TV, so you can just search directly, search button, and this payment gateway. That means uh, if you want to make the payment, the one button should be there. But here cart, so you have if you want to book any products on cart button. So these are my requirements. You just write a code for these requirements. They will tell. Okay, fine. Here, so just assume that. Let me write login button. So for any, if it is Gmail, also have to log in. Search button and something payment gateway or something. So this one cart button or something. Okay, fine. So this is totally Flipkart. If anybody type flipkart.com, so they should get this screen. Okay. Okay, fine. As a software team, as a software company, we have to build this application in a Java. Fine. Let's assume that we are working for this project now. So here, development team, they will start their working. They will start writing the code for the Flipkart application. So some developers will start writing the code for that login button. See if you want to appear that login button, so you should write some code behind this. So for search button, for everything. So some 10 people will write the code for this login button. Some 10 people will write the code for search button like that. Some 10 people will write code for payment option like that. Okay, fine. So forget about that. That's not our job. That's not a DevOps engineer's job. That is a development risk. That is a development team's job. Fine. We will not involve in that phase. So once they write the code, so here, out of these 100 developers, so they will be working, they will be writing the code always. And once they write the code, where they have to keep that code. If they keep that code with them, that means if they store that code with in their laptops, there will be no use. There will be no use. They have to share that code with some other teams. For example, if testing team wants to test that code, so the code should be available for the testing team, for quality team or DevOps team, like that. So they should place that code in one common area, in one common place, shared area. Okay, fine, fine. For that, what they will do, let me take one more. Okay, fine. Here, under developers, this is development team. Development team will be writing the code. So this is server, one server. This is a normal server. So here, this is one server. So here, development team will be here. Some 100 members are there in development team. Just let's assume that. Okay, fine. See here, one developer write his code and he will just save his code here. Fine. This is a developer one. So again, second developer will come and he will just store. What will happen? This will override. A third developer comes and is store. It will overwrite. There will be no use. If it is a normal server, they will just create one normal folder here and they will create. It will be no use. To avoid this, see, there will be some other disadvantages also, guys. I'm just giving one small example. That's it. So in regular sessions, we will just discuss in detail. Fine. Here is to override all these issues. They will use Git. What is Git? See, nothing. Git is if you install Git is the tool. If you install Git in any server, we'll call it as a Git server. That's it. The normal server, on top of normal server, we'll just install Git. That installation of Git is very easy with simple one command. We can just give install Git. Fine. Here, after installing the Git, we cannot they cannot store the code randomly, right? So they need some particular place in the server. We'll just create one folder, one folder. But here we will call as a normal folder. In Git, we will call it as a repository. That's it. This is the repository. So here, this is a Git server. Inside that Git server, we have a repository. Fine. So after creating that repository, what these people will do, this developer one will write, will store his code here. It will store as a V1, version 1, version 1. Okay. Second developer will come and he will just store here. It will store as a version 2. Like that. Version 1, version 2, version 3, like that. So that is the reason we will call Git as a version control system. If you attend any interview, they will ask you what version control system you are using. You can just tell Git. Git is very popular version control system. 99% of the people are using Git or Bitbucket. See, Bitbucket also is one of the version control system. If you learn Git, so without training, you can use Bitbucket also. Commands will be same, everything will be same. I will show you that. Not now. I'll show you that. Okay. Version control system or SCM, source code management. Source, source code management. They ask what source code management tool you are using. You can just tell Git. Version control system or source code management something. Okay, it's a Git. Okay, fine. See here the code will be saved as a versions. Also, it will maintain some metadata. That means what is metadata? Metadata means the information about these versions. That means who has stored this code and when it has been stored and how much size it will be. So everything you can just see all the details in here. All the details will be stored automatically. Okay, fine. After 1 year also, if you want to see which developer who has written this code, who has modified this code, you can see in the metadata. Okay, fine. So there will be some other advantages also, guys. So we'll see that later. So as of now, so this is the this responsibility of Git. Fine. As a DevOps engineer, as a DevOps engineer, as a DevOps team, so your responsibility to install Git in server. So as I said, we can just install Git with one single command. Within a second, we can just within a minute, we can just install Git. Okay, fine. I will just simplify those commands and I'll simplify the topics. I will just explain you this. Don't worry. I will just provide the material also. Here, here, to create this repository also, it's our responsibility. Okay, fine. And once we create the repository, we will give this path to the development team and testing team and everybody who are working in our project. Okay, fine. This is Git. This is Git. We have just now have explained. Fine. So after this, so this we will call as okay. We will give it to development team very first. Why? Because they are the persons who will use who need that Git at very first stage. Then they will write the code and they will push here. Once they push, see in DevOps terminology, we will call it as a push. I'm not using this DevOps terminology, guys. Here, just I'm explaining in generic way. Okay. Just later we will see. Slowly we will move to concepts. Okay. Here, once they push their code into Git repository, what we have to do? We have to build that. We have to build the code. That means when developer write the code, Java code, it will be in a normal English. You know what how the Java program will be. Java program, all Java programs, Java files will be having a .java extension. That means, see here, where is oh, here, here. This is a Flipkart application for what we are going to write a code. This is login button. This is search button. This is cart button or payment button, something. Fine. Here, this is the search button. This is the login button. This is the cart button. Okay, fine. What development manager will do? Development manager will distribute this work among the 100 developers. Fine. For example, if he distribute this login, if he assigned this login task to some 10 developers, what the 10 developers will be doing? The 10 developers will be writing the code for this login button. So the file names they will give login.java and so login 1.java, login 2.java like this. Fine. So that means just assume that so these 10 developers has written some 10.java files. 10.java files. So once they write this 10.java files, the Java program would be like simple normal English, so public void and that where variable names. So those things. So any programming language, not only Java, any C++ or anything will be very fast. Developer will write that code. So, but obviously he has to write in the normal English words, whatever it may be. If you want to use if condition, he will just give if. So for loop, he will give for. So to declare the variables, he will just give var like that. If his machine will understand that language, computer will understand that. Computer will never understand that normal English words. So computer will have their own language that is called a binary language. Okay. So if you want to execute this login.java programs in any computer, so somebody has to translate this login.java program into mission understandable language, binary language. So here in olden days, developers used to convert that mission understand the programs to mission understandable language. But here, once DevOps culture comes into the picture, so DevOps engineer will take that responsibility. Okay, DevOps engineer will take that responsibility. Here, DevOps engineer will convert this. The convertation, that means the process is nothing but a compilation. That's it. What is the compilation? To convert normal English programs to mission understandable language, human understandable language to mission understandable language. That's it. Okay, fine. We don't know the coding part. We don't know Java. We don't know C++. Tomorrow we will be working in .NET project, so the Java project. So if we know the Java coding, then we will be Java developer. But here, you no need to know Java program. If you don't know ABCD, you no need to open that Java program. You know it's not required to open the Java program. Without opening that Java, see, every day you will be getting some 100.java files and 200.java files. Even though if you know the Java coding also, you cannot do anything with that. So to do that, we will use one tool called a Maven. That is a build tool. What is the build? See here, you know now what is the compilation? To translate human understandable language into mission understandable language. Fine. Once you translate that code, what will happen? This is 10 login.java files. If you convert these 10 login.java files, so these files will become 10 login.cls files, class files, class files. If you execute class file, you will get output. If you execute .java file, you will not get output. Why? Because mission is not understanding. Mission will not understand this. So mission will understand class file. Fine. Once you get 100 class files, what you have to do? If you run that, you can just see this login button. Login button will work. Fine. But in real time, there will be some hundreds of files need to be written. But it's very difficult and it's very confusion. So it will create more confusions. To avoid that, we will just bundle these 10 login class files. That means we will just zip that files and we will make one single file login.jar file or var file. Jar means Java archive. Var file. Fine. And also the people who are working for this search button, they will also follow the same process and they will write some 10 search.java. Yes, and it will again, as a DevOps engineer, we will just make it a class files, 10 class files. And now what will happen? We'll make one single search.jar file. So here we'll just zip these class files and we'll make one single file. That's it. Now what we will do? So like that. So flip payment gateway dot jar file will be generated. So all these things. We will just finally we'll combine all these jar files and we will make one single var file. That is flipkart.var file. Var web archive. Var stands for web archive. Fine. If you deploy this var file in any server, you can just run the application. If you just type www.flipkart, you can just get the screen. Fine. So that is our intention here. See, all this process, we'll call it as a build process. What are the steps here in the build process? Compilation, that means we have to translate from human understandable to mission understandable language. And once we translate, we have to we'll get class files and we have to bundle those class files and we have to make one jar files. So after creating the jar files, we have to zip that files again, the flipkart.py. Don't worry, we no need to do all these things manually. Even you don't see these steps also in real time. So I will tell you how to do this by using Maven. Maven is the build tool. This is called build process. All this entire process will call a build process by using Maven. With a single command, you can do all these things. With a single Maven command, you can build some thousands of .java files without seeing that files, without opening the files. Okay, fine. Just if you, after installing Maven, if you give command like mv10 install, that's it. You will get record.war file. Okay, fine. So here Maven will come into the picture. Maven, see, as a DevOps engineer, what we will do? So we will just take that code, we'll download that code from the Git server, we'll build that code, we'll make the class files, and we'll make the var file. See here. And here, guys, we'll make the class files, or we can just bundle class files here also, we can make var file. Now, what is the DevOps engineer's role here in this part? Fine, we'll use Maven and we will build that. But here, just think that 100 developers are working for this team. So one developer will push his code at morning 9 o'clock. One developer will push his code morning at afternoon at 2 o'clock. One developer will be working from US or Australia or Canada. So they will push their code at midnight in India time somewhere. So as a DevOps engineer, it's not possible to uh, take that code and do that in midnights or something in non-business hours. So you will be working from 9 to 6 or 10 to 6 or something. Okay, DevOps engineers will be working in the general shifts. Fine. But here we should not wait till night or we should not wait till next day. So if it is something important, so we cannot wait. To avoid that, we have to automate this process. See, before automate, just think that. I'm just repeating the topic. Just that's it. Don't confuse. So development team members will be writing their code and they will be pushing to Git server continuously. And DevOps engineer, we have to download that here. In DevOps terminology, we will call it as a clone. Clone is nothing but download. We'll clone that code into our machine, into our laptop, and we will just build that by using a Maven tool and we will make it work. War file is the final output. If you execute that war file, you will just get flipkart.com. If you type flipkart.com, you will just get the screen. Fine. Fine. Here, so how to overcome that? How to get the code from the Git server as soon as development team push the code? See here, that's where we will use Jenkins. Jenkins is the tool. Jenkins is the tool. Jenkins is very, very important tool in the DevOps culture. So by using Jenkins tool, we can just automate that process. How can we automate? See here, in this mission, we'll just take one server, dedicated server. Let's show this. Okay, fine. So same diagram, just I have added Jenkins server, that's it. Fine, here, we'll just take one server, dedicated server. How we took one server for this gate, we'll take one separate server and we'll just install Jenkins. That's also very easy, guys. So we'll just install Jenkins and we will ask Jenkins to take the code from Git server. Fine. We'll just ask Jenkins to take the code from Git server. Whenever developer push the code into Git repository, then what Jenkins will do? Jenkins will clone the code and it will give it to Maven. It will give it to Maven. Even it don't bother if it is, see, if developer push his code, store his code at midnight, 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock also, within a second, Jenkins will come to know there is a new code came into Git repository and Jenkins will take the code and it will give to Maven. See how we have automated. Okay, fine. But only thing is, to installing Jenkins is DevOps engineer's responsibility. We have to give this path to Jenkins. That means you have to give this path URL address to Jenkins, and we have to give this path also. That means we have to connect Git and Maven with Jenkins. Okay, fine. Then, so there will be a lot of options in Jenkins. That means in DevOps terminology, we will call it as a plugin based tool. So Jenkins is very, very powerful tool and it's a plugin rich tool. And for example, if you buy a new mobile, in that mobile, you will get a lot of options. So, but we won't use all the options at once. So whenever we need any particular option, we will use that. So same, Jenkins also will be having some hundreds of plugins options. So whenever we want, we can just enable that plugin and we can use that plugin. That's it. Okay. And now we will call Jenkins as a CI/CD tool. CI/CD is one of the process is which will play the very major role in DevOps culture. Without CI/CD, you cannot imagine DevOps culture. What is a CI/CD? Fine. What as of now, what we have discussed, development team will write the code and they will push into Git repository. And as a DevOps engineer, we will just clone that code and we will build the code by using Maven, and we will after getting the war file is the final build. What we have to do, we have to test that. See, once we get the war file, this is the war file, we have to test that. To test that war file, we have to we have to deploy that war file in one particular server, in one separate server. We'll just take one server and we will just uh, deploy. We'll call it as a deploy or something. Okay. We'll just install or something. We'll just install that war file along with prerequisites. That means, see, for example, if your mobile is having any Java application, to run that Java application, your mobile should have uh, Java. Java means normally mobiles will not have complete Java software. So it will take space. It will consume more space. So that is the reason. So there is something called JRE, that were component of Java. So to run the Java application, we can use JRE. But here, uh, we can use JRE. We can just install complete that kit, JDK. We'll call it as JDK, Java Development Kit. If you want to install Java in any server, we have to install JDK. That's it. So forget about those things. We'll just install Java in this server, and operating system should be there. Whether it can be Linux or it can be Windows or something. Okay, and so some particular servers we need, the web servers or those things. So we will just install those server which is suitable for this Flipkart application. So these requirements we will get from the prerequisite list. We will get from the development team. Don't worry. As a DevOps engineer, we don't know the prerequisites. Okay, fine. That has to be decided by development team. Fine. So we will just set up all these environment. We will give it to testing team or QA team. Fine. So here what we are doing as a DevOps engineer, we are cloning the code, we are building the code, we are deploying in the test environment. We're cloning the code, that means downloading the code, and we're building the code, we are deploying in the QA environment. All these steps, if you combine and call, so it is nothing but a continuous integration. Sorry, integration. So what is a continuous integration? That means you are not doing anything manually here. So you have uh, asked Jenkins to do all these things. So Jenkins will be doing continuously. That means whenever new code comes from the development team to Git repository, it will take and it will give it to Maven. It will deploy. See, you can deploy the code with help of Jenkins. So you can just implement. It will be happening continuously, irregular of time intervals, something. Okay. So that is why we will call this as a continuous integration. We can achieve continuous integration with help of Jenkins very easily. Okay, fine. So this is continuous. What is continuous delivery? See here, CD means continuous delivery or deployment. So there is very slight difference between delivery and deployment. We'll see that only one single point. That's it. See, we will, as part of continuous integration, we will deploy our code in a test environment. Test environment is nothing but if you create any server to test the application, something will hand over to testing team, we'll call it as a test environment or QA environment. So once we get the confirmation from testing team that your build is stable, application is stable, you can just deploy this code in production environment. If you get that confirmation, we will just deliver that product to customer. So here production environment is nothing but the customer place. We will just, so this is in our office only for testing purpose. So in your customer, we will go to Flipkart office or data center or something. We will just take some servers from them and we will deploy all these things. Deploy means we will just install here in this server and we will hand over to customer. Fine. Here, guys, deployment, that is deployment. If it happening continuously, that is called deployment. But even though testing team confirmed that build is stable, you don't want to install in production environment directly without your confirmation. So that means you have to check the code before deploying in, before installing in production environment. Then we will just put one small condition. So normally we will be seeing yes or no. Are you sure to delete this file? If you want to delete any file, if you delete the file, it will ask you, are you sure to delete this file? Yes or no, you have to give. So that kind of condition we will put here. That is called delivery. That's it. So continuous integration and delivery. Fine. Now you know where Git will come into the picture. Now you know where Maven will come into the picture. You know where Jenkins will come into the picture. Fine. Now coming to next slide, next tool, Docker, Jenkins. Fine. Docker. What is a Docker? Docker is a containerization tool. What is a containerization? See, earlier, some 10 years or 15 years back, we used to use only physical servers. Physical servers, so I'm not going to elaborate these topics. I will just give some brief about this. Uh, Fine. Physical servers means normal servers. So then later, virtualization has come into the picture. That's the advanced of physical server. That means we can just see what is the physical server. So if this is a server, so normally server will be having some operating system, OS, Windows or Linux or something, and some hardware. Hardware means one RAM, one CPU, like that. I have slide. If you understand this containerization, before that we have to understand virtualization. Don't worry, I will just simplify the things. I will just explain. Okay, fine. This is the physical server. We have only one option in olden days. Physical server. Physical server, any server or your laptop. If you can take example as your laptop. You have operating system. It can be Windows operating system, Windows 8 or Windows 10 something, and your laptop will be having something RAM, 8 GB RAM or 12 GB RAM, 4 GB something, and one processor will be there, and hard disk 500 GB or 120 GB like that. Okay, fine. This is normal physical server. We can just run one application in this server at once. Fine. See here, if this application will use only 10 GB of this hard disk, that rest 490 GB hard disk will be wasted. But you cannot use this physical server for other purpose, for other application. So to avoid that, we'll just virtualize this hardware by using virtualization concept. We'll see how. See, this is a virtualization. So this is on top of this physical server. So we will just create some multiple servers, and we'll distribute this hardware among these servers. That means all these servers will share this, will use same hardware. That means at same time with same hardware, uh, we can just run multiple applications. So that is called virtualization. So don't worry, we have to just elaborate this topic. Just now I'm just giving some brief idea. That's okay. Fine. We can just share this hardware. Fine. That means here this will use some 10 GB, this will use some 10 GB, this will use, so there will be no wastage. And also, if you want to run some other application, extra application, you no need to purchase again new physical server. Okay, you can just create servers here, virtual server. That is virtualization. Fine. After that, this is the advanced concept. Containerization is advanced concept for of virtualization. So containerization. So by using Docker, by using virtualization concept, you can create virtual machines, virtual servers. By using Docker, we can just create Docker containers. So Docker containers, almost the process and everything will be same. Purpose is same. But here, for example, on one 500 GB hard disk of the hardware, if you create some 10 virtual servers, with same hardware, we can just create some 100 containers. That's it. Okay. Okay. That how it's possible. We'll see in the Docker sessions. Okay, fine. And there is one more thing, one more important concept in Docker. That is the image concept. That is image concept. Uh, by using image, what we can do, see here, see guys, here. So this is our previous slide, this Jenkins slide, CI/CD slide. Fine. See, once you build the code, once you build the application, once you get the WAR file, we have to deploy here. To deploy that WAR file, there is a Java application. To run the Java application, we need some operating system and we need some Java to be installed and we need some extra servers, Tomcat server or Nginx or something we need. So we have to deploy all those things. We have to install all those things. But once we make sure that application is running fine with those prerequisites, what we have to do, we have to deploy same application in production environment. To install same application in production environment, we have to repeat all these steps. Repeat all these steps. Instead of repeating all these steps, if you use Docker container, the server means it can be physical server, it can be virtual server, it can be Docker container. Docker container also is complete server like virtual server. Okay. So if you use virtual server or physical server, you have to repeat all these steps. You have to reinstall again every prerequisite. But if you use Docker container here, so once you deploy, once you make sure that application running fine with the prerequisites, we'll just convert this Docker container to a Docker image. Once you get the image, Docker image, you can just create containers for production environment from that image. If you create any container from that image, so all these, that means you are going to bundle, you are going to zip all these files. That is called image. So if you can create containers from that image, if you create containers from that image, so the application will be having all these, the container will be created along with all the prerequisites. You don't need to install again and again. So that we'll see that later. Okay, fine. So that is where Docker will come into the picture. And next tool is Terraform. Yeah, Kubernetes. Okay, fine. So Kubernetes, where Kubernetes will come into the picture. Fine. Here, see, if you create one Docker container, so it's not enough to run the Flipkart application. We need some thousands of containers. We need thousands of containers to run any application in real time. So if you create thousands of containers, it's very easy. You can create within a minutes 1,000 containers. But to manage those containers manually is difficult. If you use Kubernetes, Kubernetes will manage all the containers. If any container goes down, Kubernetes will bring that containers back up. And sometimes if Flipkart announce some flip big billion days or something festival days offers, so more traffic will be there. That means more people will be trying to access that Flipkart application. That time, so you have to just increase the servers numbers. That means you have to scale up the environment. To scale up the environment, we can just if you use Kubernetes, so Kubernetes will be having that auto scaling capability. Kubernetes will bring your environment, increase your containers, okay, very easily. And self-healing capability. Self-healing capability means if any containers goes down, Kubernetes will bring them back. And auto-scaling. Auto-scaling means if we want any extra containers with same data, with same application, Kubernetes will bring them back, bring it up. And whenever after completion of big billions day or something, if you don't want, then Kubernetes, you can just by using Kubernetes scale down the environment. That means you can just reduce the container the number. Okay, fine. So Kubernetes is a very, very important tool, guys. We will just discuss in detail. I will just explain each and every topic with the real-time use cases. Okay. And next tool is Terraform. Terraform is the infrastructure management tool. Terraform. Kubernetes is orchestration tool. Orchestration means it will orchestrate the container. It's a container management tool or it is a container orchestration tool. Okay, fine. Infrastructure management tool is the Terraform. Terraform. What is the infrastructure management? Here, if you want some 1,000 or 100 VMs or 100 containers, so instead of creating manually, we can use Terraform. The infrastructure is nothing but the servers and those network components, those things. So if you use Terraform, you can just easily create hundreds of missions within a seconds. Okay, fine. So that is called infrastructure management. Fine. Once you create that infrastructure, once you create some 100 servers, so with empty servers, you cannot do anything. You have to install some operating systems or softwares, Java and C++, something .NET or something you have to install. To install all these softwares, required softwares and multiple servers manually, again, it's difficult. So we will use some configuration management tool like Ansible. We'll use Ansible to configure those things. See, configuration management tool. So we'll just elaborate all these stuffs. All these tools are easy, guys. I will just simplify and I will just explain you. I will provide interview point of questions or interview questions also. I will just explain with real-time use cases. Don't worry about that. And I'll just give a AWS concepts also. Now we don't have much time to explain all those things. Okay, this is what I have to explain in today's demo session. Okay, in regular sessions, so management will inform you about the timings and everything. And what I want to do, you want to practice on daily basis. That's it. So I will help you how to prepare a resumes, and I will help you how to attend the interviews and what questions they may ask. If you see after completion of this course, you can claim 3 plus or 4 years of real-time experience. That is sure. I'm sure. Okay. I will just cover all the topics from scratch to advanced ways. So when I joined as a DevOps engineer, as a build and release engineer, there was no tools like Terraform and all. So I only introduced this Terraform and Ansible tools in my project. Trust me. Okay. Now I'm working in Oracle Corporation, Bangalore, as a DevOps lead consultant. Okay. So teaching me is my passion, so that is the reason I came to teaching side. Fine, that's what I want to tell you. Where is that? One second. Okay. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Hello. Yeah. Where it is? Okay. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Okay, guys. That's all about today's demo. Don't worry. We'll just elaborate each and every topic, and we will have a good practice. Okay. Which are all drama? Okay. Any doubts you can just ask now. Just let me see this chat box. Okay. Let me go through on this morning. All of please drop your mail IDs. Signing up. Please join. Doubts. Created that. Yeah, Soumya. See, every day I will just clear your doubts. Okay. And every day. So I'll be available anytime. So sometimes if I'm busy, please send a message, WhatsApp message. I will just share my WhatsApp number with you people. Yeah, Naveen is asking when to complete. See, normally it will take some 80 hours or something. So we will just try to that based on our this one practice. So, but I will just try to complete in 2 months or 2.5 months maximum. Okay. If you want some extra classes, if you want to learn something more, I will just take some extra classes who are interesting. Then I will just elaborate topics again, and I will train in the interview point of view also.
Yeah, this 2 months of training is enough to attend the interview. But
Yeah, yeah, 2.5 months, and also I'm telling I will just take some extra classes for the interview preparation.
and there are so many tools, right? Are these available open source for us to practice, or is it a
Yeah, open
licensed
source.
tool?
Yeah, these all are open source tools. Jenkins, Git, and everything, Docker, Kubernetes. So these things are open source. And apart from these tools, so we'll just plan according to that market requirement. So Sonar Cube or some other tools also are there. Just To give the a demo, I explained about these tools. And monitoring tool Grafana, I will just explain about Grafana, and what projects will I will explain with real-time use cases and POC part. So everything. So there will be some other things also.
So there is
So
no
one question
coding
from my end.
requirement. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yeah, Mujib, tell me.
Yes, yes. So I have experience of Oracle database administration. Okay, I am an administration guy, administrator. So is this so I have experience in administration side. So can I go ahead with this course and learn to
Yeah,
skill
yeah,
upskill?
yeah. Sure. See, nowadays everybody is moving towards this one automation side. So DevOps tool is having a very good feature. Database engineers, see, DBS, database administration, middleware people, and this developers. See, developers, once you reach something like a 10 years or 15 years experience, so you cannot write the coding uh, for a long time. So that is the reason people are moving on DevOps. So it
Okay.
will help you.
So as okay, thank you. And you are working in Oracle Corporation, right? So
Yeah.
it's completely Oracle
No,
database
no,
and middleware application complete that I mean
no, Mujib.
product
No, Mujib.
company.
Yeah, no,
So
no.
how
It
this
doesn't.
yeah,
Yeah, no, no. It doesn't mean that Oracle will work only on Oracle database. Oracle is the company name, and the database is that is their product. That's it. We'll call it as
yes,
a
yes,
Oracle. But the thing is, they will be working on all the projects. See, Java projects, .NET projects, and thousands of millions of projects they're working. Same like Capgemini, Accenture, like that. So here, so DevOps culture. See here, some 8,000 people are there in DevOps department. So that sometimes this last month we have review meeting. So there I came to know
uh
8,000 people are
in
working in a
Oracle.
DevOps department in Oracle. Yeah.
Oh.
So for each
So
and every,
may I know where these guys are actually using DevOps in their service provider service?
yeah, for every, see here, what is the beauty of DevOps is DevOps culture you can implement in existing projects or new projects also. So why? Because see nowadays all the clients are asking to follow the DevOps culture to use the why? Because they will get fast release and they will get a good quality product. Why? Because see, for example, here in this deployment stage, see here, if you see this diagram, so this deployment stage is not easy. If you don't use Kubernetes, it's not easy. Why? Because Flipkart application, once you deploy Flipkart application, so millions of people will be using Flipkart application across the world, across the globe. But here, if you want to add some extra feature or if you want to add some extra product into that Flipkart site, so we should not bring down this environment. We have to add that feature without disturbing this production environment. So just imagine if we can just reach that zero, we'll call it as a zero downtime deployment. We can just reach that zero downtime deployment by using Kubernetes. Without Kubernetes, it's very, very difficult. If if Flipkart site will go down for 1 minute also, they will get some millions of dollars of loss. So that is the reason. Always they will prefer uh, a DevOps tools. There is only one example. That's it.
Okay, thank you.
And Terraform. Without Terraform, nowadays we cannot imagine the infrastructure creation. Yeah, Soumya, please.
One last question. So, as a person from non-IT background, can I learn DevOps from scratch, or should I get any IT knowledge prior learning
Yeah,
DevOps?
Soumya, if you know about the software product, that is enough. See, now there is no coding part. There is no coding knowledge is required for DevOps culture. So I will train you from scratch to advanced level. See, we are not going to discover any new tool. We are going to learn how to use the tool which is there already. So the Jenkins and Maven and Git, all tools are there. We are just going to learn that. That's it. Just for example, if you buy one washing machine, so you are not going to discover on new washing machine. You are just going to learn how to use that washing machine. That's it.
So
So
what about
everything.
the Unix commands and all will come into picture, yes, sir?
No, no, no. Unix commands will not come into the picture. But here, to use these tools, we will use some. See, that is very easy, Somya. That Linux commands, I will give some 1 week. First 1 week, I will just spend for Linux, 1 week or 5 days, something. Then you will come to know. That is sure. I will just give that commands, basic commands. That's it. I will just explain each and every command also how it will work. Linux is in something like similar to Windows. Windows is one operating system. Linux is one operating system. So how see Windows means? See, for example, 1 second. So this is Windows. This is my laptop is Windows operating system. If you want to create one new folder in Windows, what you will do? You will just right click on your desktop and go to new and just click on this. New folder will be created. This is Windows operating system. If you want to create this folder in Linux, you will just use one command. That is 1 second. How you will create in Linux? mkdir something new folder. That's it. Mkdir make directory. Mkdir channel make directory. That's it. So these things I will just explain each and every word. So it will be very easy. Very limited commands we will use. That's it. Okay.
I will.
Once you once you're familiar with Linux, so you will feel that Linux is easier than Windows. Yeah, yeah, please. Sir.
So, is the sessions will be Monday to Friday or how it is?
Yeah, it would be Monday to Friday, I think.
Okay. So
Sometimes if
actually, why I asked this
if
question is like sometimes I'll have weekend support, so that is the reason I am not available for weekends.
yeah, yeah, it will be Monday to Friday. Rajesh, if we require to take weekend classes, but normally I will not recommend that weekend classes. If it is there, so if everybody confirmation, we will plan. That's
Okay.
it. If
Thanks, Professor.
yeah, even I will be busy in weekends. Yeah, guys, any doubts? You can ask
Due to
anything,
some
guys.
issues, if we don't available for the session, so can we get the recording session as well?
Yeah, yeah. Always. You will get recordings and see every topic. I will just recap. For example, today I will just cover one topic. Tomorrow we will just recap in first 5 minutes or 10 minutes. We'll recap that topic. And if you go after going through the recording, I am very happy to clear your doubts. Okay. If anybody is interesting after the class also, I will take some extra time to clear your doubts. I will not leave like I'll take responsibility.
Thank
Like, what will be the day-to-day work of a DevOps engineer? Like, as you mentioned, all this every day will not be doing all this, right? So,
Yes, right,
yeah, yeah.
right. See here. So once you set up all these environments, that means once you uh, do this, what you have to do, you have to monitor these pipelines. So CI/CD. So we will call it as a pipeline concept. So continuous integration pipelines will be there, and these deployments will be there for every week or every monthly basis or sometimes, and uh, backups. As a DevOps engineer, you have to take the backups of these servers. And as a DevOps engineer, you should involve this building process. See, please don't think everything will go fine. Please don't think everything will go fine. So every day we will get some issues, and so DevOps engineers should monitor always. But the work will not like a development team or kind of thing. So work will be cool. Why? Because so but sometimes whenever you have this production releases, so then the work pressure will be there compared to other areas. This one, the deployment stage. So that I will just explain that. See, that is one interview question. What is your roles and responsibilities in your current project? I will just explain all the interview questions, whatever I have. So they will ask you, tell me about yourself. That is the first question. So you have to tell your technical background and your technical experience and your relevant experience. You have to explain the current project. That's it. So next one, what is your roles and responsibilities in current project? As a DevOps engineer, I will just monitor the pipelines, and I'm the responsible person for deployments. Then I will change the Terraform code according to my requirement, my infrastructure, and I will just involve in deployments. I will just use Kubernetes. See here, uh, if you are using Kubernetes, so on daily basis you have to monitor that Kubernetes clusters, and so work will be there every day. So DevOps, so we will just discuss all those things. That I will just list of the responsibilities.